Did you know that triceps make up a whopping 70% of your arm's total muscle mass, leaving the remaining 30% to the biceps? With the ocean of tricep exercises out there, it's easy to feel like a lost sailor. But don't worry, today we will simplify the chaos by ranking the most commonly used exercises using this tier list. S-ranked moves will make Sam Sulek look twice and David Lade nod in approval, while D-rated exercises will leave you with noodle arms. Our triceps have 3 heads, a long head, a lateral head, and a medial head. For you to achieve that 3D triceps look, you need to target all 3 heads properly. And that's exactly what we're going to do now. Let's kick things off with the skull crusher. Scientifically, it's hailed as one of the top tricep exercises, targeting all 3 heads of the muscle. There are 2 variations here, lowering the bar towards your forehead or behind your head. The second option provides a deeper stretch and muscle activation. You can use an easy bar or dumbbell. The choice is yours. Now here's the scoop. While the skull crusher reigns as a triceps titan, it's not without its challenges. Many beginners struggle to nail perfect form, risking unnecessary stress on their elbows and potential injuries. That's why, in my humble opinion, it earns its place in the A category. Meet the cousin of the skull crusher, the dumbbell overhead extension. Now, while this move can offer solid muscle activation, let's talk about the risk to reward ratio. Personally, I find it leans a bit too much towards risk. This exercise puts too much unnecessary stress on your joints, which can lead to injuries. Don't get me wrong, the exercise offers perfect muscle activation, but in my opinion, there are better ones out there. I'm giving it a B. The better variation of the dumbbell overhead extension is the standing overhead cable extension. This is the crown jewel of the triceps building kingdom for the long head. It offers a deep stretch on your muscles while simultaneously putting significant tension on the triceps due to the constant pressure from the cables. A slightly better variation here, in my opinion, is the leaning overhead cable extension. You can also perform both variations with one arm at a time for better muscle isolation. When possible, I always prefer doing exercises one arm at a time. This helps me with a lot of mind-to-muscle connection. I am definitely ranking them as S-tier movements. I bet you've been eagerly anticipating the close grip bench press, right? Well, hold on to your weights because here's the scoop. While it's a solid move, it's not exactly a triceps isolation superstar. Nope, this exercise is a bit of a multitasker, targeting your chest and shoulders too. Now don't get me wrong, it's not a bad exercise by any means, but when it comes to triceps isolation, it's not exactly leading the charge. It's still in the game, just not taking home the gold medal. That's why we're slotting it into the B category. Let's dive into dips. No, not the nacho kind, but the exercise. Now, if this were a calisthenics video, dips would likely be stealing the spotlight. But since we're exploring both bodyweight and weightlifting exercises, I've got to be real with you. Dips are landing in the B section. Here's the deal. Just like the close grip bench press, dips are a bit of a multitasker. While they definitely work your triceps, they're also targeting your shoulders and chest. If you still decide to do them, make sure you keep your body weight upright to put more pressure on the triceps. Leaning forward will target more of your chest. While we're diving into bodyweight exercises, we can't overlook diamond push-ups. Let's keep this one brief because, you guessed it, it shares similar limitations to dips. That's why it's landing in the B tier. Moving on to the machine tricep pushdown. I know that not every gym has this machine, but for those who have access to it, it's a solid exercise. You can achieve good progressive overload with it. The machine's stability makes it perfect for both beginners and advanced athletes, helping you build a strong mind-to-muscle connection. This one is going in the A section. Bench dips are also a widely spread calisthenics exercise. However, the lack of progressive overload and minimal triceps activation makes this exercise a miss for me. That's why it's landing in the D section. Next up on the list are lying crossover extensions. Absolute garbage of an exercise. Never even think about doing it. It gets a hard D next to the bench dips. Alright, let's move on to an absolute classic, the triceps pushdown. This exercise is a staple in many workout routines, and for good reason. Here you have the option to use a straight bar, V-bar, or rope attachment, each offering a unique twist to the movement. Personally, I find all of them effective, but I have a soft spot for the rope attachment. The rope allows for a greater range of motion and better isolation of the triceps, giving you that extra squeeze at the bottom of the movement. A pro tip, switch between all 3 variations for maximum gains. This not only keeps your workouts fresh and exciting, but also ensures you're targeting muscles from different angles, promoting balanced development and preventing plateaus. Incorporating variety in your exercises is key to keeping your muscles guessing and growing. And here's the kicker, they all earn an S tier rating from me. Whether you prefer the solid feel of the straight bar, the comfortable grip of the V-bar, or the versatility of the rope, you can't go wrong. Each attachment brings its own benefits to the table, making the triceps pushdown a must-have in every program. Moving on to the dumbbell triceps kickback. The issue with this exercise is that you only achieve significant triceps activation at the top of the movement, which doesn't make it ideal for muscle building. That's why it's going in the C tier. A better alternative to the dumbbell triceps kickback is the cable kickback. The cable machine's rope applies constant pressure on your triceps, addressing the issue found in the dumbbell kickback. The significant improvement elevates the movement to the S tier. Next, we have the cable crossbody tricep extension. This is a great exercise for targeting the long head of the triceps. The only drawback is that most people don't know how to perform this exercise with correct form, which leads to less muscle activation. However, despite this limitation, it still lands in the A category. Alright, it's time for me to share my personal favorite of all time tricep exercise, and that is the elevated bench cable tricep extension. This isn't your everyday exercise, but trust me, once you try it, you'll fall in love with it. The only hiccup is the setup, especially the first time you do it. But after a few sets, you'll get the hang of it. The gains you'll achieve are absolutely worth the initial hassle. I'm placing it right at the top in the GOAT section S tier. We're all familiar with that machine tucked away in the corner of every gym. Yes, I'm talking about the tricep extension machine. It sits there quietly, often overlooked, waiting for someone to give it a try. The path of this machine isn't really ideal for optimal triceps activation. Unlike free weights or cable systems that allow for a more natural and adjustable range of motion, the tricep extension machine tends to lock you into a fixed path. This rigidity can limit the engagement of your triceps and even put unnecessary strain on your elbows. Moreover, the seated position often required by this machine can reduce the effectiveness of the exercise, as it doesn't allow for the same kind of core stabilization and muscle coordination you get from standing or more dynamic movements. In my experience, this results in a workout that feels less intense and, frankly, less satisfying. That's why I don't recommend it and why it lands in the C tier. There are simply much better options out there that offer more freedom, better muscle activation, and a more effective workout overall. If you want to know which are the best and worst shoulder exercises, make sure to watch the next video.